I think, do we need to change the interpretation into English? No, Gopi?
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
It's 10 now, no? So
Yeah.
almost.
So yeah. Good morning and warm welcome to all of you for day 2 proceedings. So what a fantastic day it was yesterday. Despite a few challenges, the enthusiasm and human spirit was in full display till the fag end of the day. We had fantastic learning experience yesterday. So we would like to continue the journey, but we would like to start today with something which is more hardcore and more technical in nature, that is data. Data is something for everyone in the organization. The way data is being collected, it is managed and utilized, has witnessed massive disruption and transformations in last 1 or 2 decades. The pace of transformations is very difficult to keep pace with. Despite this kind of dynamic changes in the ecosystem outside, IPPF, particularly South Asia region, had been doing some pioneering work in strengthening their data management systems and the way data is being managed. All the MAs are doing fantastic job in this regard, but FPA Sri Lanka is undoubtedly the leader who is leading the way, who is laying down the path for all other MAs in the region and across the federation to follow. So without wasting my time, I would hand over the floor to Mr. Suchira Suranga, my dear close friend, who is currently working as Director, Monitoring and Evaluation of Family Planning Association of Sri Lanka. Before this, he was working as Senior Technical Advisor, Organizational Learning and Evaluation with IPPF South Asia Regional Office before I filled his shoes. He had more than 15 years of experience in the national and international development sector. So he had completed his BSc Agricultural Economics and MSc in Program Management and MPhil in Reproductive Health, all from University of Redenia. And he's also a visiting lecturer and examiner for postgraduate courses in University of Jayawardena. So without wasting much time, I hand over the floor to Mr. Suchira Suranga. Suranga, the floor is all yours. We are anticipating an enriching learning experience for the next 1 to 1.5 hours. Over to you, Suranga. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dr. Gopi, for the fantastic introduction and setting the tone for our session. So let's start with the session. Hope you all can see my screen. Okay, let's start with the session, the data for decision making. Decision we are making without data, it's very dangerous. So we will discuss about the data for decision making and with special aspects of focusing on data management, on data and visualization at FPA Sri Lanka. So today's session will cover our journey for you to understand what we did for last 1 decade, our journey at FPA Sri Lanka, a kind of introduction, then introduction to MEIMS, the monitoring evaluation system, our system, and several modules of that system. And then Amal will continue to discuss about the advocacy data and its concepts and application at FPA Sri Lanka, how we manage advocacy data at FPA Sri Lanka. Then Janaranga will take over and continue the session with the most important and interesting session, that is the data visualization, our aims and approaches, and then question and answer. You will have some time for question and answer. We will try to, yeah. Okay, this is our journey. We started journey at in 2010 to 2010, 1 decade before, and at that time I must say that we had the paper-based system. Even it is not Excel based, we had a paper-based system and very donor dependent reporting system, and very less organized, and those are not that much of integrated. So we had so much of challenges at that time. So we developed a strategy for monitoring and evaluation strategy to strengthen for 2015 strategy to strengthen our M&E systems. So in line with that strategy, we started working on MEIMS. So we started the implementation of MEIMS in 2011. And first by 2015, we could completely implement the service statistic module of the MEIMS at our own SDPs. And you know that implementing a system, it's not just a one event, but it's a kind of process and changing process. Most important thing is that it is a kind of managing and leading change. So for this change, we need to have some kind of enabling environment in the organization. To promote this enabling environment, we developed our M&E policy, which approved by the National Council in 2013. And we developed some other materials such as co-indicator reference guide, and as well as a kind of some service statistic definitions, glossary of terms. We converted those into the Sinhala and Tamil on 2013, 14, and 15. So these actually supported us to implement the MEIMS system. So in 2016, the second module, the project module, was implemented in 2013. And then 2014, we come up with a kind of SMS client feedback system. It's very interesting system in 2014. And in 2015, we come up with the MEIMS advocacy module. And Amal will explain the MEIMS advocacy module in detail in this session. And then in 2016, very important year, we come up with the monitoring and evaluation standard operation procedure manual, which again approved by our National Council, and we implemented it because it's really supported FPA Sri Lanka M&E team to implement the MEIMS in the organization. So in 2016 and 17, we developed key modules of the key components of the service statistic modules. The service statistic module, that is mobile clinic component, as well as CBD, community-based service provision, community-based services provision, that was implemented in 2016 with Global Fund support. And in 2017, we started the associated clinic module. It is again with the Global Fund support. And then 2018 with SARO support, it's a very important step that we have taken. We integrated our system with DHIS2. In DHIS2, how we are using the DHIS2 is that we are not entering data into DHIS2, but we enter data into MEIMS, and we integrated MEIMS with DHIS2, where DHIS2 working as a reporting engine. So we are using DHIS2 as a reporting engine. Let's discuss more on that. And then we developed a comprehensive sexuality education data capturing and data management module in 2018. So let's go to the last 3 years. In 2020 and in 2019, end of 2019, we came up with our next strategy, that is M&E data managed, M&E roadmap, monitoring and evaluation roadmap 2020-2015 strategy we came up with and started implementation in 2020. And in 2019, we strengthened our MEIMS with the special data requirements for humanitarian intervention. We received some support from humanitarian Sprint Hub, Bangkok Sprint Hub for this, and we developed that. And 2020, very important step we taken, that we integrated our system MEIMS with Power BI data visualization to strengthen the visualization arm. Janananga will introduce more on data visualization. And in 2020, last year, we developed a client feedback application. It's a kind of tablet application to collect data. And also we developed a data visualization TV application, Android application in a TV application to, you can see a video on that, to visualize data to our clients. So monitor and evaluation information management system, what is it? It's a kind of online open source data management system developed by FPA Sri Lanka. So we in-house we developed it, and it is a one integrated system to facilitate all data collection, no matter whether it is statistics or whether it is projects management, or whether it is advocacy, IEC, BCC, so everything in one system. And it's a kind of user-based authentication, and we have data encryption and secure web access, this kind of and password policy, these kind of privacy and confidentiality aspects as well. And then it don't require any data, any additional software requirement or any additional hardware requirement for end users. So with just a browser, they can access the system. Okay, this is a kind of overview of the system that we are talking about. This is the latest version of MEIMS system. So I'll go through the few modules. I'll introduce some modules of that system. You can see the project module which connect all other modules. A project module is kind of the core module of the system, and which connect all other modules. Like we have then service statistic module, then we have the advocacy module, and then IEC BCC module. All these modules, then we have a kind of aspects for data security and governance, and then data visualization. Then all these data go for data visualization and sharing and data sharing. And then let's go to the project module. In project module, how it's work. This is how the project module is work. In the project modules at the planning stage, before we start the implementation, we can upload all the projects plans into the system. Like objective setting, we can set objectives of each project in the system, and then activities and timeline we can set in the system, the plan, and then targets and indicators. We can set the target and we can set the indicators in the system, and then we can set the budget in the system. So in the implementation stage, we will utilize all these data. How we utilize is that actually what we are doing at the implementation stage is that we report the progress against the objective. So all the progress made by the activities or any other effort, we record against the objectives in the system. And activities and completion of activities, again we report against the plan. So we can actually compare the original plan and actual implementation. And then indicators and targets, actually we measure the actual achievements against the targets. And the budget, in terms of budget, we measure the burn rate. So actual versus implementation. When it's come to BCC and ICC and BCC module, in ICC and BCC module, you can see these are the key components. We have a component for sexual and comprehensive sexuality education component we have, then a kind of training, TOT programs and other trainings and capacity building, and then IEC, BCC materials, development and use, and TV radio programs and print media and peer education. These are the component of IEC, BCC modules. So in this programmatic, like comprehensive sexuality education, capacity building, we take the participants log for that, those efforts. And then we have developed pre-test and post-test evaluation module component facility in the system. So we can compare the pre-test and post-test and come up with decisions on that, the effectiveness of our programs. And for the peer education program, for the peer education component, we have developed the system in such a way that the individual performance of each peer educator can be monitored. And even we can provide performance-based incentives for each peer educator. And let's go to the service statistic module. Service statistic module, these are the key components of the service statistic module. As I explained, we have service static clinic module, mobile clinic modules, associated clinic module, community-based service module, and a special client feedback. Two systems of collecting client feedback. One system is SMS client feedback, and the second system is client feedback application, a tablet application. So in all these modules, I must highlight that all these modules we collect the client-wise data, not the service itself, but the client-wise data. We register the client, and we maintain the history of each client separately, and it is integrated. And then the service and data, service and CYP data, monthly we upload into the DHIS2. It's a kind of automatic update. I mean, it's a kind of downloading a CSV file and uploading into DHIS2. That's how we have integrated into the DHIS2. So let's go to the service statistic module, how it is working, the key processes of that module. Let's start with the static clinic. So as I said, it is client-wise reporting. So when we started the new static clinic somewhere, we register that static clinic, and all the service providers attached to that, those static clinics are registered. Then once those are kind of basic data, then the black color, these processes are kind of that transaction which is happening every day. When a client comes the first time in the lifetime, then we register the client in the system only one time, and then the repeated visit and first visit, the services, referrals, and commodities we record in the system, like open EMR, the same like open EMR. And for the mobile clinic, the same client registration and service provision, it is common for all the modules, but for mobile clinics we can register mobile clinics and mobile sessions. Each session, daily session, we can register and collect data against the daily sessions. For the associated clinic, we have facilities to categorize the associated clinic, and then based on each category, for example, DIC as a separate associated clinic, and kind of DIC of key population as a separate category, and under each category we can record associated clinic, and then the client registration and client service provision is common. And for the CBDs, we can register geographical locations, and then each geographical locations we register the community-based service providers. So again, the geographical locations and then a client registration all are similar. So these are the key features of our system. It is a client level data available, including the client history, medical history of all the channels together, and integration of all service delivery channels in the one system. That's very important aspects of the data management in service statistics. And then data disaggregation by different levels. We can disaggregate data by SDP, service delivery channel, geographical locations or districts. Not the geographical location of the SDP, but the geographical location of the each client, where the clients are come from. And by project, this is very important to have the disaggregated data by projects. That facility is there in the system. And we can have any disaggregated data for any age category, sex or gender. And project specific data disaggregation. For specific projects, we can have disaggregated data for disability status of the client, like disability status and pregnancy status, lactating status. Especially for humanitarian clients, projects we are implementing this. And this is how the SMS API is working. SMS API is working. Clients at the time of registration, we collect the client mobile numbers, and then at the time of service provision, the SMS system generates SMS requesting the feedback, and this SMS goes to the client. And at the client, then client can the response to the system. I mean, they can send their feedback, and then the feedback is generated. The SDP managers can log into the system and generate the feedback in the system, in the MEIMS system. The strength is that every client has a kind of chance to provide the feedback, but the gap is that low response rate. So this is the client feedback tablet application. We can implement tablet application in static clinics, mobile clinics, and associated clinic using the tablet. The client can respond, not all the clients, but a sample of clients. And then client feedback reports are generated in MEIMS. In that MEIMS, the SDP managers can log into MEIMS and see the client feedback report. And these client feedback reports can generate net promoter score as well as qualitative suggestions. So these are the key features: online and offline data collection. We can collect data online and offline, and it can facilitate all three languages, data collection in all three languages, both qualitative and quantitative data. And it can calculate net promoter score, as I said, and calculate net promoter score and those data by static clinic, mobile clinic, associated clinic separately if we want. And disaggregated report can be generated for the each unit as well as projects as well. We apply by projects also we can take, and disaggregated data by client profile. This is very important. We can take the, for example, if we need net promoter score by youth clients, we can take only for youth and unmarried client and female sex and female clients and like transgender clients. So by the client profile, we can take the client feedback. So that's it about the all service statistic module, as well as the key first key module of the system. So we will go into the next module, that is the next session, that is about the advocacy module. Amal from my team, actually Amal is working as the will express this advocacy module, and Amal is working as the assistant director for monitor and evaluation at FPA Sri Lanka, and he's working for past more than 5 years at FPA Sri Lanka, and Amal has more than 10 years experience, and with the master degree in the development planning, as well as master degree in program evaluation. So let's this over to Amal to continue with advocacy module. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes, Amal, we can see.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Gopi and Suranga and other teams. Good morning, all of you. I'll present how FPA manage adequate data and what are the concepts and applications currently we applying at FPA. Before that, let's see outline of this presentation, basic introduction, and other one is uploading advocacy strategic plan into the MEIMS and maintaining advocacy databases and reporting advocacy efforts, reporting advocacy results, and finally, what are the reports we can take in relation to the advocacy activities. Basic introduction about this advocacy data management module is actually the advocacy data management module is based on our IPPF comprehensive advocacy module, which is introduced in 2010. For advocacy data management, there should be three prerequisites. Those are advocacy strategic plan, and operational plan, that means advocacy projects plan, annual projects plan, and also there should be clear results chain link between the advocacy plan and operational plan. So let's see how should be the link results chain link with this plan. The advocacy plan should have clear goal, advocacy expected results, and milestone, several milestone. And for the annual plan or advocacy operational plan, there should be goal and advocacy expected results, same as that advocacy strategic plan. But for the operational purpose, in the annually, there should be a clear milestone which is related to the advocacy plan, and what are the key outputs implementing in that particular year to achieve that milestone, what are the activities implementing to achieve that output, and what are the inputs. That are the operational plan key components. And this is the basic link milestone with this among this both plan. Okay, once we have this clear operational plan and clear advocacy plan, next step is to this plan should be uploaded into our MEIMS. Here I show you pictures from our advocacy strategic plan, our APB in 2021. APB included advocacy projects for operational plan, annual operational plans. So once we set these both plan into the system, advocacy team can start the data collection process after setting this basic documents or plans. Okay, let's see how advocacy strategic plan upload into the MEIMS. Let's take, for example, unsafe abortion advocacy issue, advocacy plan. This is the interface we use uploading the advocacy plans. So first we have to enter what is the advocacy issues and advocacy code, and we have to enter at least maximum 10 indicators which are supporting or evidence for the advocacy issues. That also should include what is the publication years, what is the data source, and what are the findings of these evidences. And other component that we have included in this data entry screen is what are the current policies and what are the clauses of these policies, and who are the key actors of implementing this policy, and whether this policy is supportive or conflicting, and what is the implementation status, current implementation status. And other one is in relation to this advocacy issue, who are the stakeholders, what are their role, and what is their attitude level, strongly opposed or supportive or unknown, and those are the information we should collect in this screen. And also what is the power level, power status in relation to this advocacy issue, and what are the reason in relation to their attitudinal status. And to in relation to the advocacy issue and what is we set the advocacy goal, to achieve that goal, what are we expect to achieve advocacy expected results, and during which period we plan to achieve that. And then we have to set what are the milestone to achieve each advocacy expected results, and in which period we expect to achieve that milestone. So here I present the screens we used to upload the advocacy plan. Surang explained previously regarding the uploading operational plan, so I didn't explain here. Once we upload this operational plan and advocacy plans, the next step is to maintaining advocacy databases. Actually, there are two types of databases: advocacy audience databases and mass media databases. Maintaining these databases is important. Actually, although this is process data, this data is important to smooth implementation of the project activities. So advocacy activities is very long time intervention. So collecting information for long time and maintaining those data is important. So an accurate information maintaining will this data will help to maintain the accurate information. And there might be some staff turnover and new people come to the advocacy team, so they don't know what are the things happening in the past and who are the stakeholders in the past. So but if new person come and look at this database, they can access the information and start where we stopped the previous person. So that's important to maintain databases. Next ingredient in this module is reporting advocacy efforts. The efforts here, I mean, we mean that advocacy activities implemented as per the annual plan, otherwise operational plans. Those are activities set out our operational plans. Basically, there are 12 type of efforts or activities implementing. Another important thing is all these efforts we can map with the advocacy plan and operational plan based on the results chain. Okay, let's see how we report this advocacy effort using the MEIMS. And for example, let's see unsafe abortion, same advocacy issue. For example, let's take a consultative meeting, one of the type of efforts. Every screen we used to report that efforts. There are basically two areas. Project plan components, we can here you can see the we collect by this screen, we collect project related information like project and objective, subjectivity and subjectivity numbers, and advocacy plan components, audiences, and what are the advocacy issues, advocacy expected results, milestone. So those information collect, and effort related information, whether this is collaborative one or whether this is done directly by FPA, collaboration with partner or by partner, and what are the key achievements from these consultative meetings. Those are specific to the consultative meeting. Another example is TV, radio, or news. That is one of efforts we made during the operational plan. That also included project plan component, same as previously explained. And
Sorry to disturb, but you have another 7 minutes more.
Okay, advocacy plan component, and then efforts related information, whether we included sufficient information in relation to these efforts, are they persuade the audience, whether it is related to advocacy expected results, and are there any suggestion for the audience. Okay, then advocacy reporting advocacy results. And reporting advocacy results means changes of political and legal environment where we implement the advocacy activities. This getting this information is important to program personnel take remedial action at the first opportunity to avoid negative effects for our implementing activities and smooth implementation of the projects. So we can collect this information through this news article, TV, radio program, public speeches, and law and policy documents. And here I briefly explain how we can use this MEMs to reporting results. For example, public speeches, under which public police advocacy issues, under which advocacy expected results, milestone relate to this public speech, and other one is project plan component, and whether this change is related to the addressing some audiences, primary, secondary audiences, whether this content is oppositive, supportive, or neutral, likewise, and legal and policy changes, another change, same as previous advocacy plan component. What is this? Explain the changes in legal change, whether it is supportive or negative, neutral, by how many votes against for this change, or how many in favor or against, likewise. Okay, reports. MEMs give advocacy related report, 3 types of reports: advocacy plan, advocacy efforts, and advocacy results. This is the report generation interface. You can see there are 3 types of reports in drop down. All these reports are PDF reports you can download as. This is the first report, advocacy strategic plan. This report included scientific evidences for the particular advocacy issue, indicators, policy and stakeholder metrics, expected results, milestones, and audiences against the expected results. Second type of report of advocacy efforts reports, that also include what are the efforts we made to contribute to particular expected results, and this is the first page of that report, and inside that report report include I previously explained that 12 type of efforts. So you can see the 12 tables and what are the efforts we made under each category, and under which projects we made efforts. Likewise, we can get the information in the system. Last one is the last report type is advocacy results or change reports. That's also included changes or political changes or results in relation to the advocacy expected results. This is the first page of that report that include advocacy issues and advocacy area and advocacy expected results. And that also included basically from four areas we collect information: newspaper, TV, public speeches, and likewise there are 4 tables. So under each 4 areas, what are the, for example, newspaper articles, whether it's supportive article, negative article, or likewise we can collect information, date, title, author, whether it is a direct contribution of our advocacy project, likewise. So that's only. Thank you very much for listening. Right. The next presentation will do by the Mr. Janranga. He's our senior manager in our monitoring and evaluation unit FPA Sri Lanka. He will take you through our data visualization application aims and approaches with the FPA Sri Lanka. He also having master's degree in regional development and planning from the University of Colombo and business studies from the University of Ruhuna. His experience with the FPA Sri Lanka around 5 years. So I open to Janranga.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Amal. I think you can see my presentation. Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I think Mr. Suranga had explained overall idea of the data management and approaches of the FPA Sri Lanka. We have experience for a long time, and Mr. Amal had explained a very focused and important module of advocacy. And I think now I have to explain about the data visualization part. One of very important part of this session, because we have more focused about the data visualization and its applications in FPA Sri Lanka. In this session, I will try to explain you and present you what we expected and what we have gained and how we gained these outputs. And I will try to explain these things in my best. So before we start, let's walk into the FPA Sri Lanka head office. This is kind of the very primary virtual tour to FPA Sri Lanka. Let's have a look at this video.
Hi dear friends, this is
You can see my
the
video.
Family Planning Association of Sri Lanka's head office, and this is the main entrance. So let's go inside. This is the main lobby, and left side the Center for Family Health, and right side the client's waiting area. Can you see something special there? This is not a general television. This is something special. So you can see the real-time data with this application. This is a TV application. Just have a look at this one.
This is one latest output of our visualization approach and practice. I think sometimes with this example, you may have some kind of idea about our practice on the data visualization. Let's move on. I think you will be able to see more on this video, presentation. By seeing that video, what do you think? Is it a great way to present our data? So probably with consideration of the presentations and attractiveness and the graphical presentations, I think probably is a yes. So that's why we focused on data visualization. We experienced and we had a lot of data, as Mr. Suranga mentioned. We have the several modules, and with the MEIMS system, we have data, but we had not a proper way to present our data. So that's why we focused on data visualization. So why we focused on data visualization? Actually, wait for a bit. So, if we consider about the importance of this data visualization, basically analyzing the data is a better way and faster decision making and making these things more complicated way. So we focused on data visualization since we have these aspects, and we focused on the data visualization by using this, by considering this importance. Wait for a bit, a little bit. Actually, what is data visualization? Literally, the graphical representation of information and data. You know, most of we have the data, sometimes maybe Excel-based, paper-based, but visualization represent a more graphical way. It may be the information or data. And by using visual elements like charts, graphs, or maps, most probably you will be able to see with our outputs what are the way that we try to visualize our data that we have with our system. Why FPA Sri Lanka needed it? So if I want to mention you and I want to present you why FPA Sri Lanka need this data visualization practice, we need to solve these data inefficiencies and absorb vast amount of data present in a visual form. We have data and we need to make more effective and efficient way to present this data, and also increase the speed of decision making. You know, we need fast decision making and we need immediate decisions. Therefore, we need data visualization. And also, when you have a lot of data with Excel-based or paper-based, there may be some errors and inconsistencies and inaccuracy of the data. So if we have data visualization, we will be able to see this error and inaccuracies, and also access the real-time information. This is the most important thing. We will be able to access the real-time information by using this data visualization. And also, it promotes the storytelling. Sometimes, as you see in the video storytelling, sometimes it may be the animation or any graphical representation. So it may be focus the right audience or niche when you need and when you plan it. And also explore business insight and achieve the goals in the right direction. Sometimes it may be a business organization or any other organization. So it explores the insights. And also, if you want to stay top of your niche or sector, you have to see the trends. This visualization will let you to see the trends by using your data. And optimize, and you have the tailor-made reports also. You will be able to see in my next slides. You can use these optimized tailor-made slides for the visualization purposes. So that's the reason. These are the reason FPA Sri Lanka needed visualization for a long time. But in the last few years, we experienced and we analyzed these options and we conceptualized a modern pattern. under the FPA Sri Lanka M&E roadmap of 2022-2025, the concept we formed to visualize the data we have. As Mr. Suranga mentioned, we have the MEMS system, and we need to visualize our data present in more effective and efficient way. This is the plan. This is a data visualization plan we formed, we conceptualized in our new roadmap. And this is the approach we try to reach through these applications and these approaches. So you can see the data portal and real-time data visualization with a TV application and on web-based and management dashboards. I'll explain it in next slides. So this is the major plan of our data visualization. So we have the plan, we need the visualization goal, and we consider some options. Actually, these are the data visualization application that we concerned when we try to conceptualize our idea. So most probably and most popular Tableau app and ClickView, Google Data Studio, and finally we found the Microsoft Power BI. So we analyzed these features. So at the end, we selected Power BI. It's a collection of business intelligence tool, and it's a cloud-based. It's consolidated data. So these features, and we have some different resources and different sources data be available. Therefore, we need to integrate into the single portal. Therefore, we selected the Power BI by considering these features of the Power BI. It's very attractive, and it has a question and answering pattern, but we haven't experienced, so we haven't used it right now. Customized dashboards, as I mentioned earlier. In next few slides, you will be able to see our customized dashboards, navigation panes, and help and feedback buttons, DAX data analysis function. So when you need to analyze more complex data, we can use the DAX data analysis function in Power BI. These are the features that we considered when we select the Power BI for our data visualization application. So these are our outputs of data visualization approach. Sexual and reproductive health country profile, and our performance dashboard, work in progress dashboard. Wait, I'll show these things in a more very attractive way. And also you can access these dashboards via FPA Sri Lanka official website, and also monitoring and evaluation information management system login page. These are the outputs. Now let's move on to our first output. This is a sexual and reproductive health country profile. So this is the whole picture of, this is some snap of the dashboard. I think more than I explained this one by using this snap, you will be able to watch this video and see how this works. Wait for a bit, I'll share the video.
This is the sexual and reproductive health country profile of Sri Lanka, which developed by M&A unit of FPA Sri Lanka. Since we did not have SRH data and indicators in one place, we needed a data portal to present all the SRH related data. As a result of that, we conceptualized this SRH country profile and developed in 2020. There are a number of important SRH indicators from different sources. Some indicators include data more than 50 years. You can visit this SRH country profile through FPSL official website and the login page of FPA Sri Lanka Monitoring and Evaluation Information Management System. Any academic or professional user can reach this SRH country profile and explore these interactive data reports. Let's see the features of this dashboard. So you can see there are several sections of this dashboard: demographic section, gynecology, obstetric, infertility, HIV/AIDS. So you can visit by using these navigation keys. And if we consider about the several reports, so let's have a look about the literacy rate of Sri Lanka. So you can just check in this mode, and also you can drill through the report. Now you can see the report in this way, and you can see the difference of the literacy rate throughout the years. We have more than 100 years of data in this graph, and also you can see the data source. Since we have used the different sources, you can see the data source also. And if you consider about in the report, if you need to see some reports on gynecological and cancer prevention, so we can go to the report or interactive modes and some special data visualization cards we can see. So if you need to see the data table and the report, you can right click on the report and show as a table. So the graph, the trend line, and the table you can see.
You can see some other sections of this SRH country profile, and there are plenty of options and indicators with the data of more than 50 years. And especially since this type of SRH country profile, this might be a very good resource for any academic or professional who observing this SRH data in very attractive mood by using these graphical presentations. This is the way we develop the SRH country profile as we expected. I think the credit goes to Mr. Suranga. He's the one who conceptualized this SRH country profile and other outputs of FPA Sri Lanka data visualization approach. I think that's the first output. So as I mentioned, you can see that the country profile with all indicators for need, those who observing the SRH related indicators. So you can see that the output. Next one is our performance dashboard. You can see in until 2019, we had this type of billboard, which displayed in each and every unit of FPA Sri Lanka, representing the infographics about the performance of recent calendar year of FPA Sri Lanka. So these type of things we used until 2019, but we changed our approach into data visualization practice. This is our performance dashboard now. So you can see it.
FPA Sri Lanka Performance at Glance dashboard was developed to present its annual performance in key areas to its stakeholders and general public. This reflects the performance of the organization during the recent completed calendar year. There are three main sections in this dashboard, such as clients, services, and programs. Since these Power BI dashboards are linked with the FPSL monitoring and evaluation information management system, even client level data can be presented. Let's see some reports in these dashboards. So if you want to go to these sections, you can use this navigation bar. So It's like the previous dashboard, where you can see the client profile and the total number of clients by the year, especially in all the client groups are represented here, and some special indicators comparing with the years and our services. The service provision related indicators you can see and you can observe here, and the programs. All the programmatic level key indicators are presented here, very interactive ways and easy to understand all these indicators.
So it is the second output of our data visualization approach. It was our performance dashboard. So it will reflect all the indicators and the performance achievements as you see that in the video. So if we go to the next output, work in progress dashboard, it's something we add some more features into this dashboard. I think you will be able to see within this video.
This is the dashboard which show you the progress of organizational function so far in the current year. It may be very useful for the internal staff of the organization to see the progress of their programs just like the previous dashboard. You can see three main sections in this dashboard, such as client, service, and program. Especially you can filter the reports by the entity units and quarter of the years, and also month of the year. Let's have a look at this report. In this section, you can see the very interactive map, and also you can see the client level data disaggregated by the service provisional location through this map. You can zoom in this map and see the particular data by the service provisional location, and also the number of clients served by entity and the client profile. So if you want to see the service statistics of a particular unit, you can just click of one of this unit and see the changes of the work in progress dashboard.
And you can see the other sections, the service section, just as the client section. You can filter by entity unit, and also from the quarter or month of the year. You can see the change, the data when we click these filters. It's a very useful tool to the internal staff and also the outsiders when see the progress of current year. So this is the programmatic section of this work in progress dashboard. So these are the main three dashboards I want to show you. And our next product, beginning of the slide, my presentation, I explained and show you the real-time data visualization TV application. Is Android-based TV application. The main important thing is that the real-time data visualization by using this application, because at the moment you can see the updated details with graphical interfaces. So this is how it displayed in the entrance of FPA Sri Lanka. So sometimes I use these videos to explain these dashboards with the time limitations, and I limited these videos with some special features. And there are plenty of more features and important things that I want to share, but I think with the time limitation, I manage as I expected. So what's the next? If you consider about the data visualization and this approach under the M&E roadmap, we mentioned that there is a special output of data visualization as a management dashboard. It may help our senior and middle management to take the decision more effective way by using these analytical reports. Sorry. But still we are conceptualizing this management dashboard. I think with the next year, we will be able to develop and launch this management dashboard. There's something very complex dashboard rather than these dashboards I have shown. And TV application, right now it's only limited to the FPA Sri Lanka head office, but we try to extend these TV applications after customizing it to our other healthcare facilities, just like our service delivery points and other sections. So we are considering about these things, and also more attractive reports. We have more features in the Power BI to present and communicate this data in more effective way and attractive way. So we are trying to just practice these reports in a better way. The change we made, these are the things that we made by using this data visualization approach. The availability of real-time data for management decisions. This is the main important thing. And we didn't have that real-time data. I think before 10 years, we struggled with some paper-based reports, but now we have the real-time data that may be more important for the management decision-making. And also attractive and wide range of data reports. Simplicity and attractiveness will help our focused stakeholders and our interested parties to get this data and observe the data. And interested parties can access data from anywhere, since these dashboards are available in our official website and also M&E system. Anybody can access this data and use as we presented, and increase the usability and effectiveness of data. Internally and externally, we try to increase the usability and effectiveness of the data. This is the change we have made during last few years by using this data visualization approach. I think this is the time to end my presentation. I would like to thank you very much for this opportunity, and also your very interactive participation. But at the end, I would like to thank Mr. Suranga, Director OLE FPA Sri Lanka, and all the other M&E staff of FPA Sri Lanka. They have done a great job to get these things into reality, and also our executive director and other our national council and other directors and other staff members of our units, and also the developers of our MEMS systems. They had done a great job to achieve these things. Without them, we will be unable to reach these data visualization outputs as we expected. Thank you very much this opportunity, and I think I will hand over Mr. Suranga to end this presentation. Thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you, Janaranga and Amal, for the presentations. I think now we are in the last 10 minutes. We have only 10 minutes. Over to you, Dr. Gopi.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Suranga, Janaranga, and Amal, for such a fantastic presentation and taking us through such an inspiring journey. So where you were in 2013 and where you are currently is truly an inspiring journey. So we are all getting a feeling, Suranga, that we are all frozen in time and you are marching ahead into the future with a brisk pace, right? So thank you so much. We have kind of few questions from participants. We will take those questions first, Suranga, and then after that I have 1 or 2 questions to kind of ask FPA Sri team. So there are questions, 2-3 questions from Mr. Chetraj from FPAN. So one question, also kind of a similar question was asked by Ms. Radhika. How are you tracking the impact of your IEC and BCC activities, Suranga? Like how many clients have been reached through these interventions? Is there a way, is there a mechanism you're able to track those things?
Thank you for the question. Thank you, Dr. Gopi, and thank you, Chetraj, for the question. Actually, it's only the number of person reach. It's only a kind of estimates which we generate from the, for example, it's a very rough estimates. For example, for the social media, we have a kind of reach indicators, but for the print media, we take only from the dissemination, number of dissemination, and each newspaper they have a number of dissemination, and also TV, radio. It's a again it's a kind of estimate. But the most important thing in advocacy is not that the number disseminated, but the effect of that. For example, based on that, if any kind of high level person make a kind of speech, that we take as a kind of very important results of our activity. Or if there is a kind of if any media person write a story on that, we take it as a very important result. So that's how we are taking measuring the results, rather than taking the number who read that, rather than the next higher level. What is the change that happen in behaviors of our target audiences? Our target audiences are kind of the media players, religious groups, and politicians. So if they made a favorable statement, that's what we want. That is what we are actually measuring, rather than the number.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Suranga. So another question asked by again Chetraj was, do you incorporate the annual targets of all the key service stats indicators into the MEMS system, and do you real-time monitor your performance against the set targets?
Yeah. We have at the beginning of the each year, we are doing a kind of consolidation of targets for each project, and then what is the contribution of each project. If we have like 3-5 projects, then we go to each SDP, and at the SDP level, we take the project wise targets, and then we take the cumulative targets for that SDP, and there is a facility in MEIMS to enter those targets in the system. So at the reporting, actually we had no time to present those. So there are facilities to in the system to show the target versus actual achievements, the real time actual.
Yeah, fantastic, Suranga. So there was another question. So Suranga, a question from my side is, it is very important, the 3 key pillars of any data management system: the people, systems, and the processes, right? You have thrown light onto almost all these aspects, but I would like to understand more about the people part of it. In the entire organizational hierarchy, getting the nod of leadership, and then keeping your team motivated, and also dealing with the inertia of the end users, the service providers, and also keeping the clients in the entire scheme of things is pretty much a sort of balancing and the toughest part of the entire system implementation. So I would like to just know kind of few highlights from your experience, and how did you deal with the people?
Yeah. It's the most important part, actually most important part in any journey, because the softwares and hardwares will not make it. We have realized that even same system, if you try to implement in different location, without people may not be work. So Actually, it's a kind of change that we made. That's why I presented this many policy and many procedure manuals, those things. So we try to bound people with the system. So we try to include some procedures, organizational procedures which apply to everyone same similarly. So it's not that it's not that something. It is very kind of objective. That means it is not affected by the people who is working, but it is a kind of system. And then we approved it from National Council, and then we got the concurrence from our executive director and SMT, and got the participation from everyone. And then when it's come to the users of the system, it's only the rules will not work. But we did so many capacity building workshops, and I think more than 20 for last year. At this year also we did 3 capacity building workshop. This year also virtually. So we earlier actually in the beginning we did like 3 days, 4 days. So it becomes a kind of part of their blood, and then only slowly it's implemented. It's not that one-time journey. So the most important thing is decision making for the using these dashboards for decision making. That still I am not thinking that we are in the right place. Still we are not in the right place. This dashboard that we are presented, it's only for the general public. I mean, it's not we don't have that specific data for each level of decision makers to make decisions, but we are developing we are trying to develop a management dashboard which we are conceptualizing, as General Anga says currently. With this management dashboard, I think we will be able to go another step ahead in terms of people.
Yeah, fantastic. So fantastic. Suranga, I particularly like the phrase, it's in their blood. It has to get into their blood. yeah, fantastic. Kind of, that's a great take home message, right? It should be getting into their blood. Yeah, so another question from the participant is, please share any event, how this data visualization has been used to engage with the stakeholders. So be it the donors, or be it with the clients, or be it with kind of government or any other stakeholders.
Yeah, actually, what we did it in the first 2011 strategy, you can see we have developed a kind of stakeholders of M&E unit. It's not the stakeholder for you, but the audience of M&E units, and then we try to address each audience separately. So but the thing is that our system is not adhere to any donor or any specific donor in a specific system. It's a kind of general system for everyone. When a donor come, we present at the negotiation stage, we present what we have. And if they have any other specific thing that they need, then we say, okay, we will be able to develop this, and we will within 5 or 6 months. So that's how we came across. So this system we are using for all the donors, like Global Fund. We have like 17 projects. We don't have any other system. It's the same system we are using to meet all the donor requirements, and that's why we will be able to aggregate these. So that's how it is going.
Yeah, fantastic, Suranga. I'm sure kind of you will be extremely successful in creating that positive donor perception when you display these systems across the table to the donor at the negotiation table, and also the flexibility in the system to adapt to each donor needs is something amazing. It would be kind of to any donor's liking for that matter. Yeah, thank you so much.
And the most important thing is that the standard operation procedure manual, we have around 100 pages manual and around another 100 pages of annexes with all data collection systems. So those annexes are not kind of, I mean, everyone is not, audience is that everyone is not supposed to read everything, but only the component that is relevant to them. Relevant to them. Once the donor come, we share first in the first capacity assessment. We share the procedure manual, and the many person they can easily grab things. And if there is any particular thing, then they will come up with, okay, you don't have this one, and please, we did this. So then only the problem comes. Then we started again how to include that into the main system and streamline. Once it is come to the main system, then we can, it is streamlined to the other donors as well.
Yeah. So Suranga, another question is, how about the outreach? How far, what are the initiatives you have taken for collecting client level data from the outreach in MEMS platform?
Yeah, in terms of MEIMS, currently what is happening is that at the mobile clinics and CBDs, two most important two ways of outreach, the mobile clinics and CBDs, they are taking the data into the client history forms, and they bring it to the, in mobile clinics, there are client history forms, they complete client history forms, and at the static clinic they enter into the system once they come back. That is what is happening. And for the CBDs, they are completing their system. I mean, their bi-weekly reports. They send bi-weekly reports, and at the SDP, we have a data entry operator to enter bi-weekly reports, client level reports into the system. But we have now started the planning for mobile application using the Respond, and Dr. Gopi, you know that with your support. So now from next year, you will see that the real-time client level data in outreach programs as well, especially for CBT.
Yeah. Now
we have started that.
Yeah. So another key question from participant is regarding the Net Promoter Score and client satisfaction level. You have presented those client feedback forms and incorporating Net Promoter Score. So they just wanted to know how these aspects are incorporated into this MIS and DHIS2, how they are integrated.
Currently, it is available in MEIMS, not in DHIS2. What we have done is that all the main modules that we have, the client, all the basic data that we have in the DHIS, in MEIMS, we have used for that. For example, SDP structure and service delivery model structure, project structure available in MEIMS. We have used that those data to collect client satisfaction data as well. So at the time of login into the particular tablet, that tablet will know that, okay, this data should go to this static unit, this mobile unit, this project, and the so on. And then they don't want to enter any data in the system. Those are handled in backend. And in the tablet, we have only like less than seven slides where the questions actually, where the clients directly can select first their gender and sex, and then their basic information and their level of satisfaction for each of the indicators, like their confidentiality aspects, the clinic times, and those. There are 6 special questions, and from there they can select in the Likert scale. And again, then in the last page, we ask about their state of recommendation for other clients on 10-point Likert scale, and using that we generate Net Promoter Score by client profile, by SDP, likewise. That's how it is working.
So thank you, Suranga. We have just less than a minute to go. I'm afraid we can't take any more questions. Really, thank you very much for all the kind of the presentations and the inspiring journey from the FPSL team. So we really kind of salute the FPSL leadership and also the M&D team. And we also really thank all the participants for their kind of encouraging words and also such a proactive participation. Really kind of a wonderful 1.5 hour, very enriching, Suranga. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Gopi and all previous M&E technical experts at IPPF SARO and IPPF Central Office, as well as IPPF, all the other senior technical advisors at IPPF SARO who have given very good support for us, actually. Because of that, actually, this without IPPF SARO will not be able to come up with this. So thank you very much for the participation and kindness. to come up with this. And also, thanks for all the audience and as well as for the participants for this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Have a good
Have a
day.
great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you.